everybody looking for opportunity. So you may go to, we say InvestFest coming up. They're gonna have 1,000 people that's building skills and have knowledge that's in that you could work with your business. And they have people that's looking for opportunities. Sometimes the reason why you don't find who you're looking for because you ain't looking.
That's true, because I tell everybody in the church world, just because God sent the blessing doesn't mean you can see the blessing.
All right, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Marlon Watts, co-owner and CEO of WRLDINVSN, and we back with another one, a special one, all right? Because last time, Pastor, you dropped gems on us, but before we get started, because we grew, I won't say when you was on the channel, we maybe had 20,000, 30,000 subscribers, but
that's tough.
I'm here today to tell you we just passed 80,000 subscribers, all right? So make sure if you want the chance to win 100 free shirts when we get to 90,000 subscribers, make sure you like, subscribe to the video, run us up, all right? We gonna get that faster than ever, but want to take the time to introduce yourself to the new people that's following us and let them know a little bit about you.
Oh man, I'm Pastor Jonathan Everett. I pastor an exciting church in New Orleans, Louisiana. We grew from 3 members to over 2,800 now amongst 10 different states. I'm a father of one child, my 11-year-old, and man, I'm a resident citizen, born and raised in New Orleans. Traveled the entire globe, just consulting, mentoring, preaching, pastoring, all that good stuff, man. But I'm excited to be here, man. You said 100 shirts.
100 shirts, 100 free shirts.
I might be the one to keep going back.
All they
alias names, right?
Let us know what they learned, and because I know we're gonna get gems from this podcast here. So, what was your favorite gem and what you took away? That's all you gotta let us know in the comments.
That's dope, man. They better run it up there.
Run it up. Because it's crazy because I know that you said that you're a pastor, and I mean, I look at you like a pastor, but you're so much involved in like the community outreach and just entrepreneurship in general. So I want you to, can you explain like what is it that's holding entrepreneurs back in our community, and especially young entrepreneurs getting their business started?
Diversity. Let me use 2 words, exposure and diversity. Okay, let me see if I can say this. An unexposed mind, right, leads to an unfulfilled or an unutilized life. A person who lack exposure, lack experiences, right? So diversity. So there's a contract I just signed with one of our biggest universities in our city. And I'm sitting back, right? They say, Pastor, look, you got the community pillar. And they said, we're going to put that advisory board together. We want you to make those recommendations, but we want to be able to allocate $10 million to the community at large in the city of New Orleans. And we sat there and whiteboard, how can we diversify $10 million? And we're coming up short in the areas of entrepreneurship because we see a lot of duplication and repetition in different career paths and career choices. Maybe because it's easy, or maybe because the blueprint is easily accessible, right? And we don't see how we can split 10 million, watch this, to career paths or entrepreneurs who are not contributing to the dysfunction of our community.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So how can we take this 10 million and we can foster it to career paths that can advance our narrative and not give us obesity, right? It's like how many grants we can give to food, right? How many grants we can give to stylists, like how many grants we can do versus diversifying neuroscience, working on those different type of things. So in our community, it's the lack of exposure and the lack of diversity. And maybe it's because we only think we can benefit off of people we're in relationship with, right? And that's a challenge that we feel as though we got to be friends in order for us to get a check from one another. Hey, I don't got to know you. I don't have to ever meet you. And that, man, when I was in Dallas doing Hurricane Ida, and I was still, pastoring and doing everything virtual because we just had like a large following on social media, I said, man, how can I keep this going? And so we started doing these, I can't remember the name of it, but we go and rent out the little studio and stuff like that. And man, I rented that studio out like 4 times, right? In 1 week. I never met the lady. Don't even know her name. All I seen was a picture on a profile. And I'm like, this lady got $2,600 from me. Never met her, never seen her. How is that so in our community that we think we can only benefit from people we go eat with, drink with, party with, church with, and we don't know how to make money from people that we don't benefit from in relationship areas? So exposure and diversity, man.
It's crazy. We just talk about, like you just said, a lack of exposure. I feel like with us, and that was one of the reasons why we started to take the brand serious, because we saw the impact it was making to like the people that was around us, as in like we starting our businesses, and other people started to start their business. They like literally Lou. He was working and he saw us doing our brand. He like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it full time. Nick, he held on to his job. We was still doing this brand, but it was so hard for him to just like let go and give it and give the brand his all. To where like he didn't even quit his job. He just didn't go. He couldn't even tell him that he didn't want to do this. He wanted to do something else. So I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs in general, they kind of still be stuck in the mindset of still having that fear of just like doing something in general. And then when you bring in that resources piece, like they feel like they have nowhere to go. And that's why I feel like our channel, well, I know that's one of the reasons why our channel been able to grow, because it's been a lack of information. Just people that's watching this video, some is gonna like click in their mind, and they're gonna be like, dang, that's what I was missing, or that's what I wasn't doing, or this is what I need to do to get my brand to the next level. And the more that you put that information out, the more that people are absorbing and actually applying it. Because it was like, we always knew we wanted to be successful, but we really didn't know what we needed to do to be successful. It wasn't until we got in a business accelerator program that really opened our mind to mentorship, that opened our mind to resources, that opened our mind to being around other entrepreneurs. And that was one of the reasons why we started our own programs. So, just from this YouTube channel, we didn't know that we was going to start a brand accelerator of our own, or a mentorship inner circle program of our own. So now we actually, taking people from this YouTube channel that's watching and getting information, bringing them into a 3-day accelerator, loading them up with information. And now they also have an opportunity to get inside the mentorship program. And we have classes 4 out of the 7 days. So it's almost like going to school for an entrepreneur.
It's like an
inside
entrepreneur
that program.
boot camp, man. It's here's how amazing. First of all, you know how I feel about you and Nick. I said it privately, I said it publicly, I said in conversations, whether it's with CEOs or Lowe's, it don't matter. I mentioned y'all name. Here's one of the things that is fascinating, and this is when the light bulb went off in my head when I discovered there's an expert in every area I'm suffering in. I want you to think. Every area I'm lacking, suffering, I'm not doing well, feel inadequate, feel incompetent. I feel like I can't speak with somebody somewhere is an expert in it.
Or you got other stuff on your plate where you just can't even get to that.
It's like you got to find that expert in that area, right? But that only come from self-assessment. Right? That's really come from self-examination, being totally honest with me. I had to be honest with me and say, you know what? All right. I always tell people this. There are only 2 types of people in this world. There's movers and managers, right? There's a person who can manage something very well, right? And then there's a person who can move something very fast. If I take that mover and manager in front of an empty piece of property, that manager gonna say, well, let me hire, a grass cutting company. That mover saying, no, let me hire contractors because I need to put a house on that empty property, right? They have 2 different philosophies. Every mover is not a manager and every manager is not a mover. So the essence of really understanding me being honest with who I am, I'm a mover by nature. That listen, man, I don't let nothing grow under my feet. Tomorrow, if I think about it, it's coming to pass in a few days. I'm calling somebody. I'm getting on the phone with this. I'm meeting with this person. It's going to happen. Now, I can do all of that as a mover, but I see managers. So that's why I got executive assistants. I got 6, 7 people working for me at the office, right, to manage what I go get. And a lot of times people try to be movers and managers at the same time. They don't do pretty well with it because they're missing appointments. They're not making this call back, blah, 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 because they're trying to be an expert in everything. Now, you just got to get the right people in the right place, man. I call it putting people in their place.
Yep. And speaking of, it's like team. So, or what do you have? How do you build a team when you just getting your brand started? You may not have the finances to even invest in somebody to come and help accelerate your business? What are the things that you feel like an entrepreneur should be doing to still put themselves in position to acquire a team?
First, they got to know their career path. They got to study their art, their craft, right? I know that if I'm just getting started, I'm not going to get the most expensive CPA. I don't got no money yet, right? Or I know I'm not going to get somebody who can contribute to the advancement of the product, whatever that product is. If my product is clothes, I know I'm not going to get a building. I don't need a brick and mortar yet. I can sell clothes out of my living room if I want to, right? If I'm just getting started. So what do I need? What are the first 3 essential things I need? And who do I need to hire so I wouldn't have to cap, right? Or be overly invested where I feel like I need to make this happen. Right. Desperation leads to deadly decisions. I'm gonna say it again, right? Desperation. Man, I've seen so many people on social media have great products, but because of desperation, they allow their personality to kill a product. So they try to force their product on you. Or I've seen young ladies with dope clothes, but one personally I know, and she done went out there and started wanting lingerie just to have a sex appeal now to try to advance her clothing line. And it's not because her clothes wasn't going to sell. It's because she was desperate for something, for whatever reason that is. We cannot allow our personality to kill our product, but we got to hire for where we are now. Right. And just because you can't afford that CPA or afford this person right now, it doesn't mean that it won't come later. Man, hire for where you are now. Every business has some form of evolution going on, whether it's fast, whether it's slow, whether it's to the next level. Man, some businesses skip a whole lot of levels. Yeah. Right? And you can tell, this is what I tell people, you can tell if a person have vision or they just had a good opportunity, how they manage their wealth, right? It's how they manage what they get, right? Y'all had vision. So it didn't matter if y'all was doing it out of the trunk or whether or not y'all doing it out of a warehouse, right? Y'all still have vision. There's some people who have opportunities, they'd have never touched that warehouse. In their mind, they still think they can do it out the trunk. You know what I mean? Or if they had the warehouse, they probably wouldn't even utilize it because they don't have enough vision to utilize it. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people about pastoring. I can tell if a pastor have vision or he just had a good opportunity. If I go to his church and he's like, oh, man, we ain't using half of that building. Boy, you ain't had no vision. Because if you had vision, you'd have seen the children's church. You'd have seen the transitional living. You'd have seen the temp agency. You see, I done put all that in that one building. You saying y'all don't have no need for it. Somebody just gave you a building. You had a good opportunity, but you didn't have vision. Because vision fill everything that's empty around you. Every person around you have to feel or touch you. You know what I mean? Vision, you ain't just, there's no such thing as casual relationship when you have vision. Right. If you're around me, there's a need for you to be around me. Or I need you to be around me, right? Even my son right now, it's a need. I put him on certain shows on purpose because I'm going to need him later on, right? Because vision fulfill everything around you. Nothing around you should be empty.
Right. And we say all the time, you can't go there, you got to grow there.
Oh, yeah.
And what we mean by that is like, right now, if let's just say anybody that's looking to get their team members, what are you doing to put yourself in that position? Because you don't have to find, like you say, the most expensive person. And everybody looking for opportunity. So you may go to, we say InvestFest coming up. They're going to have 100,000, at least 1,000. I'm going to be realistic with y'all. At least 1,000 people that's building skills and have knowledge that's in that you could work with your business. And they have people that's looking for opportunities. They may have people in here looking to do content and you're struggling with content with your brand. And now you go out to these events and you're able to connect with them. Sometimes the reason why you don't find who you're looking for because you ain't looking.
That's true. That's true. No, that's true. Because I tell everybody in the church world, just because God sent the blessing doesn't mean you can see the blessing. Right? And what I mean by that is, like, God can send a whole lot of people in your life, but if you can't see them for who they are and who they were sent for, you can misuse them, abuse them. You can hurt the people that were sent to help you. But you said something just now, man. You said that they're going to have a reservoir of people prepared to help them in all areas of their business. But if they don't know what their business is and what it stands for, all them people are worthless. So people get over on people who don't know their business. Right. People manipulate people who don't know what their business need. I can sit there and consult with somebody for 5 minutes and tell them, I can tell you if they know their business, know what they want, know the identity of their business. So you know your business, you know the vision of World and Vision. So y'all can craft the story of World and Vision with your videographer, your photographer, your accountant. Y'all telling them, no, this is how it's supposed to be, right? In essence, because people are unexposed, they allow everybody else to tell them what their business should be.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now. I mean, to be
Like,
honest
what?
with you, because like you just said, you know, our mission is that we provide original designs and branded fashion to urban youth who feel stagnant and trapped by what the environment tells them what they can and cannot do. And we realized that it was a lack of information, it was a lack of resources and lack of knowledge. And that's why we started this channel.
I love it, man.
You know, I got my product on right now. You got our product on right now.
I got to put
So
World
we
and
still
Vision
promoting our brand, but ultimately we're promoting the why, as in continue to advance the industry with information, continue to advance our community, our culture, and, you know, just given what we didn't have nobody that we could like be like, hey, what's going on out there in the market, or, you know, what I got to do to get these tips and tricks, or how I need to set my business up, and, you know, importance of having an accountant. Like we wasn't. Only way I saw this was on Shark Tank. Just being honest with you. The only place I saw entrepreneurs talking business and investments and inquiring and cost of goods and you know, how to acquire a customer and marketing strategies is on Shark Tank.
Wow.
They don't have nowhere else.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find it.
All right, I'm sorry I gotta interrupt this video, but if you haven't checked out our monthly workshop, you are literally missing out. We have transformed over 500 brands and minds inside of this 3-day workshop. On day 1, we're gonna be covering design. We're gonna be giving you our design process to take your designs to the next level. On day 2, we're gonna cover marketing. So we're gonna show you how to set up and run Facebook ads. We're gonna show you how to create content. And on day 3, we're gonna give you the scale up. We're gonna give you the play on how to set up your pop-up shops, how to set up your distribution to do over $10,000 a month. You don't wanna miss this. If you're ready to continue to scale your brand, literally all I need you to do is click the link in the description. It won't take long, and we'll go ahead and see you in that workshop. Let's get back into the video.
There's a shortage with information. My experience was a little different in my space, right? My space is not my space, but my space is like pastoring. They tell you that you can't go outside of the ramifications of just spirituality and touch like entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But everybody in my family hustlers, man. I'm from the project, man. My mom was facing 90 years to life. Everything we do, you know, we always hustle. And so, you know, what I do now is I just take what I seen them do in the hustle game and I turn that into how we develop people, right? So everything that we do, you know, I always tell them give, act, right? It's a philosophy that we live by. Is how can I help people? If I can make people better, I know I can make a society, a community better. And that's all that those people did, your Frank Lucas and several others. They made people feel better about themselves, even though they was distributing bad stuff, but it's the philosophy of how they work. It's work ethic, right? So, you know, I never seen Shark Tank, but I just always thought if I understood public relations or understood networking, I can get in the room, man. Any room.
All right.
In the room. And once I build that bridge, it's over. Once I create that relationship, it's over. I told y'all last time on this podcast that relationships is the most important thing in your life. Period, man. Dude said if I'm broke and I don't have a couple of friends that I can get some money from, I'm broke. He said, if I don't have money, man, and I don't have no friends that I can call on to throw me some bread, he said, man, I'm broke, man. Relationships is the most important thing.
Crazy. Hey, look, if you liking this, if you getting hella information right now, I need you to make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel, run us up. 90K is approaching, and don't forget you're going to be getting a lucky subscriber, going to be getting 100 free t-shirts, and we're going to be investing in your brand.
That's that California talk, hella.
Hey,
That's Cali there all day.
I got another question for you, Pastor. I got another question. Because we speak about, you know, impact over income. And when you hear that, what does that mean to you, and how can, you know, other brand owners and entrepreneurs apply that?
What's the need? Like, what's the need for your business or whatever you're doing, right? You know, y'all pumping vision, y'all creating blueprints, y'all helping other people create their business through the line of fashion, right? And so even though that product is leading y'all way further than the status quo, there's still a need for people like y'all in this dispensation of time. So if I was to use the Bible real quick, Noah got off the boat, but then the Lord tell him, be fruitful and multiply. Why he tell him to be fruitful and multiply? Why he couldn't just live with his 8 family members? He could have just enjoyed the rest of his life with his little people. But the Bible said because the earth needed to be replenished. That's the need. The need is that the earth needs to be replenished. Now I want you to do that, right? Nobody need a doctor until they sick. Nobody need a gas station until they run out of gas. Nobody need a dentist until my tooth broke. But we need them people though. So what is the need? And I tell people, like, if you're going to make impact on society, not impression nor income, is what am I doing that people need from me? Because as long as I'm fulfilling the need, I never go out of business. Listen, funeral homes ain't never going out of business.
Right.
Barbers ain't never going out of business.
Got to get right.
You got to get right. Gas stations ain't never going out of business unless we start flying. Then we're going to find something else like to put in business, right? Like these things are never going. Doctors ain't never going out of business. Ain't nobody going to be walking around, I don't need no doctors. No, sickness and germs are still here. What are you doing? Product, business, whatever you're doing, find the need, right? Find out what that is. For example, we do the back to school giveaway thing. I do it every year. And I sat back last year when we did it, and I thought to myself, when we had to walk away with like 100 backpacks, I was like, they don't have no need for this no more. Think about it. Because if they had a need, all of them be gone. So they don't have a need. So this year I'm like, so since they don't have a need for the kids, let's shift to the teachers. So let's take 500 teachers who need gas, that's number one, who need supplies, who need food. We got food, groceries, furniture. I done got to put everything together for this, right? I'm talking about manicures, massage therapists, 25 resources, panels, 30-minute sessions. Why? Because they got a need for it. Professional development in the school system is lacking because they don't have the time to get away to really go get it. So I'm going to bring it to them because they have a what? They have a need. As long as you're meeting the need, you're relevant, man. And the minute you stop meeting people's needs, man, you might forget about it.
And I heard you say, something about, a need for doctors, but not going to be specific on help, but a lot of people need like mind help.
Mental health, yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah.
And can you just elaborate on the transitions that you really got to go through when you going from, working your 9 to 5 or being a regular person to saying, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, and, not everything is on your back and you shaping what your company is, you becoming a leader. Like, what's that mindset switch that person needs to have to accomplish that?
Two things in mental health, and I'm a big advocate for it because I develop a lot of these outpatient mental health facilities. People really don't realize mental health is like physical health. That's not the problem. Mental illness is when we get into a whole different conversation. So everybody have mental health. Everybody just don't have mental illness. But then when you look at it, there are some people who we call chemically imbalanced, right? But watch this. There's also a lot of people that are situationally imbalanced. Right? That simply means that I have too many problems going on. It's like going all wrong at the same time, and they click out. We say they click out, right? They go ham, right? They spaz out on everybody. And you be like, man, I ain't never heard you had mental issues. Like, nah, I don't got mental issues, but my daughter just got raped, my car just broke, and I lost my job. That's enough to spaz out on anybody. Right. You don't have to have a mental health history to spaz out on people after those 3 things happen, right? That's just the mental stability. What we are seeing, like transition, man, this is crazy, right? I'm Ryan from Texas, and this is the thought that comes to my mind, right? About transitional, like moments, right? Like, how do you transition in moments? None of this stuff is permanent. None of this stuff lasts long. It's how do I manage this moment that I have right now, but motivate myself to get to the next moment. Entrepreneurship is how do I leave a 9 to 5, something that's stable, foundation. I know I'm getting this check every week or every 2 weeks. I don't know when the next time I'm going to get paid, right? And I don't know who else to pitch this to. And that's why it's important that before you make that transition, that you get all of the information you possibly can to continue to keep the revenue and the resources coming in to make sure that you stabilize your living, right? Because that's what happens. They leave and they don't know how much they have to invest in it themselves.
Right.
I tell every entrepreneur, they come up, man, we got at least about 50 entrepreneurs in my church. And I talk to all of them in a group, right? And I tell all of them, listen, do not ask me to invest in you if you're not investing in you.
And speaking on that whole, because that's one thing that we never honestly wanted to take, like, investments. Like, we always wanted to prove our case first. If you could prove your case, then you know,
it's big.
People gonna invest in you. But I will say now I understand what people say about a lack of finances in the Black community, because no matter what, people see what we're doing. Period. And like, now that we to the level that we are, like, our mind has expanded, and now I see to really take this stuff to 50 states. Like, it really is really going to require like a financial back and a financial team.
It's
seriously, to be like the biggest, which we gonna become the biggest brand in the world. Like, now I see why people be going public, because it's just like, even if you make $500,000 profit, let's just say, cool. All right, entrepreneurs eat last, so your money coming out of the bottom line. So after we got two people,
if there's a last to get from,
so we got two people we need to split, and then you got to make a decision. Okay, what do we do with this extra capital? All right, like $200,000, $300,000, you can't go global with that. Just realistically, even if you save that up for 5 years.
Chew that. See, you go to that big table, they be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need that $250,000." You're like, "Dang, that's half of that." Man, I've been pastoring my church for 10 years. I didn't take nothing from the church as it relates to stipend until 3 years ago. So everybody else is getting paid. Musicians, CPAs, everybody else is getting paid except for me. I wouldn't take no money from them. So what I'm trying to show you is it's no difference. In entrepreneurship, pastoring, it's the same thing. It's what it is that you desire and know what it is that you have on the inside of you, so that you can get to the place you need to go, right? And that's what they saying now. They're like, "Oh man, Pastor everywhere, blah 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 blah." But man, I used to fly to Africa broke. I was in Kampala, Uganda, broke, man. It's real talk. I was in Kampala, Uganda, Africa, broke. Going through Dubai, I'm mad because I can't splurge in Dubai. The first time I'm hitting Dubai for a couple of days, I can't splurge like I want to splurge, and I'm going through there to get to Africa. I'm in Africa, tore up, man. I'm talking about no bread, right? Flew all the way back, 21-hour flight. But everybody was like, "Oh man, passing Africa." But that was just making me connections to all of my other connections that I have going on now internationally, Kenya and all these other places. But they don't know that trip was broke. I was broke, man. Right? But I sacrificed to say that I wanted this to work way more than I wanted creature comforts, right? Than what I have on or what I wear, what I drive. I wanted to make sure that church, man, we went from 3 members, right? $78,000 in a deficit. They was about to close the church down. The church ain't have a sign on it, nothing, right? We went from 3 members to over 2,800. Man, that didn't happen just by somebody putting something on the website or on the internet. That happened because somebody was grinding, right? Somebody was saying, "Nah, y'all take that bread, sort that bread out over there, put that over there, put it." You know what I'm saying? Like do those type of things. That's entrepreneurship.
We gotta grow.
It never come to you the way you see it in your head. So that's why mentorship, I think this is brilliant, right? To tell them, I know what you see in your head, but these are the steps that's going to help you get there, right? I was telling our church last week, I was like, you know, the most important thing that God gave Noah wasn't the boat. He gave him the blueprint. You get the blueprint, you can build your own boat. Unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs today, they want you to bring them the boat. Like, nah, that's not how that works. I'm going to give you the blueprint. Go build your own boat. You see what I'm saying? I have this philosophy. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Don't give me no stage. You know, I told, you know, several people, I don't itch to get on nobody's stage, right? Bishop Jake's nobody. And I done been on all these stages. I'm going to build my own stage. You know what I mean? I think they got enough space for everybody to do what they do. But you got to be willing to take that blueprint and build your own boat. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it's really just about, like, you doing what you need to do, and you gonna be on the stage.
All you gotta do is keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we focus on why we not on the stage instead of focusing on the things that we need to do to be recognized, to be able to be on that stage.
By the way, for some people, here's just a good nugget for some people. If you're overly exposed, it slow down your money. So be careful. You know, that's life, right? You know, we don't know the richest people in the world.
Right.
We listen to what Forbes say, but man, some of the richest people in the world, man, you don't even know them. I still don't know who coming out them Beverly Hills houses, man. They don't got no names on them joints. Like we don't know who those people are. You go ride through Baton Rouge right now, man. I'm talking about a big long house down there. I still don't know who that is. It's like we don't know those people because they recognize being overly exposed can be a hindrance to your business, right? And fighting to get on the stage, that don't mean nothing. That's just a person of influence. But that doesn't mean that you're the person of affluence, right? I want that person of affluence. He owned the whole building. I don't want the stage. I want the building, right? And for every entrepreneur that's listening right now, be that person that want to own the building, not the person who just want to perform on the stage. Because after you finish performing, you got to wait for another performance to be seen again. But if you're on the building, you could determine who perform on your stage, man.
Woo, Ed, that's crazy right there. Look, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to run us up. We almost at 90,000 subscribers. You like that? Run us up.
Man, I love, boy, Nick, the boy, y'all told me to run you up. I've been telling everybody that. I ain't got on the prayer line one day. I'm like, run me up this morning. I'm like, oh, man, it's the wrong podcast.
Hey, and don't forget, if you haven't got inside of that monthly workshop, go ahead on and click the link in the description. 3 days, all right? It's going to be transformational. If you thought this video was transformational, we're going to be giving you the processes and the transformation, all right? So we're going to see y'all inside that workshop. And, man, appreciate you,
man.
Pastor.
It's over already, man. God,
appreciate you.
Just getting started. I do this all day.
Hey, we might gotta make a segment. So if you want to see a segment with Pastor Everett dropping these transformational trainings, let us know inside the comments.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. We'll do it. We rocking with it, man. Thank you so very much,
y'all.
man.
Hey, I'm Marlon Watts, co-owner and CEO of World Envision, and we out. All right, if you made it to this part of the video, that means you watched the entire video. So I want to say I appreciate you so much. Before we get into this next part of the video where we give away 100 free shirts, I want you to make sure you like, subscribe to our channel, run us up. Let us know what you got out of this video. How did this video change your mindset, and what did you learn, and what you're going to apply to your brand. If you haven't got inside of our 3-day workshop, you are missing out. All right, we got one that's gonna be coming up, so you need to click the link inside of the description to see all the details for that. All right, so without further ado, let's go check in into our giveaway winner.
Hey, what's good, boss man?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. Hey, I wanted to, call and inform you that you were, the 80K subscriber giveaway winner.
Yes,
and you'll be
sir.
receiving 100 free t-shirts from the game.
Oh, man, that's a blessing, bro.
Man, appreciate you, man. We see you, always comment on our videos. We've been looking back. We went back to the oldest videos, and literally we see you on those videos. So we want to say, we appreciate you and thank you so much. But I want to take this time also to give you some opportunity to share your brand with everybody right now.
All right, man. So my brand is ANG Styles, and it stands for Affirming Greatness with Style. Empowering the world with positive affirmations through our clothing. We just want everyone to affirm their inner greatness, become the best version of themselves on their best day, and especially on your worst day, because that's how you're going to succeed in life.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, look, this right here is going to be able to accelerate your brand, give you, because we understand what it was like to be able to invest in our brand. Literally from nothing. So we started with 12 shirts and $120. So being able to put this investment inside your brand, I can't wait to see where you go from now.
I appreciate that, man, for real.